you lacking clarity in your life right now? Well, today I wanted to share 3 areas that I look at, keeping it nice and simple, that really have added clarity for me in my life and how you can do so as well. Welcome back to the Men's Mental Health podcast with me, Johnny Pardo. Okay, so this is like from my own learning, research, and living it, the most important thing, because theory does not price the ticket to the higher level of consciousness, as one of my teachers, Peter Sage, says. And what that means is you can learn something and intellectually know it, but you don't know it until you live it, you breathe it, right? And sometimes that involves some tests coming in from life. So, for example, and sometimes they appear very challenging. So, for example, Peter, I'm going to share something. I am going back into obviously the 3 areas of life. But I really think it's important to understand when you really know something rather than just hearing me and then saying, oh, that sounds great, that's motivating, and not doing anything with it because you don't know it if you don't use it. But yeah, for me, for example, when I really have to use something, I always use dating because that can be the area that really pulls us into our biggest challenges, our biggest wounds that we need to address and heal. If we keep doing the same thing, they're not going to heal. But for me, if you can pay attention and understand why the lesson's coming and then do something with it, that's when you start really knowing and embodying something. So there's something Peter said, and he said that stop trying to fight the current of life, instead navigate the bends of the river. And what he means by that is something challenging happens and then we deny it. We try and fight it instead of being okay, I accept that's happened. It doesn't mean you stay unhappy, you stay miserable and you defeated. What he means is you accept that you can't control or change certain things. You can only influence situations, and now you use it to navigate. So for example, someone hurts you in the dating world and it's really, really hurt you. You say your truth. And this is what I did. And then they're like, oh no, I'm not really feeling it. Well, this is how some people would deal with it. And even me in the past years ago, although I've never really begged someone to go out at me. So I'm proud on that point. But I know sometimes we're wounded and people do. But especially when it's really, really hurt me, this is a challenge, but it's I'll say my truth and I'll feel the emotions. I'll cut off what I need to cut off, but it can be still really, really hard. And what I've had to learn from Peter Sage's lessons is okay, right, I cannot control this person's thought. I cannot control her thoughts. I cannot control whoever the woman is, what she feels about me. I cannot do that. I've been truly me. The past is the past, but it's not about not feeling the emotions. It's not about suppressing. But at the same time, I need to move forward. So I go, oh, okay, this has happened and it's teaching me I need to look at this wound because I've attracted that kind of emotional chaos, that kind of emotional unavailability in. And I know lots of women have trouble with this on the opposite side with guys, having been surrounded by lots of women in growth communities and hearing, some of their challenges, particularly in the healing space. So this is kind of how I've really taught it. I'm okay, cool, right. Well, that saved me going down a long road of being hurt by a woman into the future. Some people stay together and they're miserable for years. This has saved me early on. Thank goodness I've caught the emotional chaos and stuff. Great. This is an opportunity for me to heal and become the man I'm meant to be. And then I attract my absolute queen. That's what the bend in the river is giving me, instead of being right, I've got to fight this. And somehow if I be enough, she'll like me. It's no, I am enough already. Now I've just got to address this wound and work even more on my mission. And therefore I get to attract my queen. So that is going with the bend in the river, right? Life becomes so better when you do this. It's and I can apply this to sales as well. But essentially, why I went on that conversation now, because I think it's really important to understand something. So when I talk to you now about the goals and setting it, you do not know it. You do not know your goal until you live it, right? I have not like truly understood my financial targets or my sales ones until I started stepping into it, getting no's, getting rejections, and then starting getting winning because I'm like, I am living this, right? So here are the three areas of life if you're lacking clarity. And one thing I'm going to share with you now before I get to the end, just in case I forget, because I've not scripted this, I've just got a bullet point on what this episode is going to be about, is clarity comes from movement. I have this conversation so many times with people on calls who are like stuck about where they want to go because what they're doing right now is destroying them. But I try and there's certain words I'm banning from my vocabulary and I'm catching myself. The word but and try, I am aiming to keep out, but sometimes is appropriate. Okay. Where was I going with that? Okay. So people, like, I completely lost my trail of thought now. Anyway, back to, clarity comes from movement. So clarity comes from movement. Like, if you don't know if something's going to work, you will never know until you do it. Just being honest. I don't know if some, and do you know what? When I've invested in something and tried it, again, I use the word tried, went through it, and it's not worked out, then that was a win because I made movement and then it's led me on to something else, right? I've experimented in so many ways to like make money and do things, and then I found my path, right? And I may change again. That's totally fine. Clarity does not come from you thinking about things and doing the same things again and again. I really need to add this into my objection handling. I'm just thinking. Anyway, because it's so true and I like to talk from truth or what I believe to be true. Okay, so clarity comes from movement. Just remember that, right? So what I want you to think about, and these are the three areas. Write a vision, first of all. What would your ideal dream day be like? Even if you don't know the specifics, okay, what do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? Who do you want to be with? You'd be like, okay, dream partner, certain amount of money, and doing something you love. Even if you don't know what that is, that could be your dream, right? And then three areas, divide it into, right? Number one, financially. Where do you want to be? Because obviously we live in the world where money does matter. Doesn't obviously, it's not the be all and end all, but it is a tool you need to like, buy stuff and have more experiences. So you can do free stuff, but it is really going to help you with your growth, your contribution, helping more people and things like that. So one, what is your financial target per month? I'd suggest like your dream one, not like your next step, not like, oh, what's the next milestone, but like your dream. Like if it's you want to make $1 million or pound a month or 10 million a month, that's fantastic, right? And don't limit yourself. However far away you are from that now, that could be a great one. This is all about your dream day, okay. And then, now your three targets: financial. Second one is your relationships, including your intimate relationships and emotions. And then also your mission. What's the thing you feel very purposeful? And it doesn't have to be like you've got to be big influencer, but what's the thing that gives you a lot of meaning or lights you up right now? So put that into your perfect day and then divide those three into like 6 to 12 month goals. So like, what would be your target you want to make in the next 6 months financially? Do you want to get to like if you're making £3,000 or $3,000 a month, maybe your next target's £5,000 or dollars or £10,000 or dollars a month. Like if you're at 3,000 a month, don't make your next target obviously $1 million a month, because let's be honest, that's not going to happen in this next. It could do, but like that's going to be like 0.001% of a chance, right? If you're at that 3,000, instead it's about building up. What is your next relationship target? Maybe it's like you're getting a date with someone. It could be 1 to 6 month target, or it could be doing something with your partner, or it could be something with your family or your friends, right? And then what's your next target in your mission, your purpose? For me, it's finishing my book on men's mental health, right? And I'm on my second draft and I want to do that by the end of the year. So that's my goal in that. And then just set yourself like 3 habits you can do towards those things. You can set 3 targets towards one of them or 3 between all of them. So it could be something like in sales, like I'm going to practice my script 20 times a day, or I'm going to practice role play every day, or sales role play, or with like, I'm going to write like 100 words a day on my book, right? What's like one thing you can do as a habit every day? And then what's 3 things I also say that I'm stopping? So mine is things like alcohol, It's things like, which I've not had for months, things like certain social media restrictions and not checking certain things on social media, certain financial spend. I don't limit it, but I limit it on spending on rubbish, basically. So yeah, that's how I get clarity on things. So to sum that up again, because if you're listening, you're probably trying to get, you are aiming to get a lot more clarity. So what is your perfect day? It doesn't have to be specific details, but if you're as specific as you can make it, that's amazing. What are the 3 targets, which are 1 to 6 month goals, or even 12 months, but maximum goals you want to do? And then what are 3 habits you're going to do daily towards making those 1, 6, 12 month goals happen? And again, clarity comes from movement. And it's okay if you start a habit and you're like, this isn't what I feel called to do. As long as it's not fear and it's like, oh, this is too hard. Make sure it's actually aligned, of course, what you're doing daily. So that's what I wanted to share on 3 areas of life to really increase clarity in life.